Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a hotly debated topic in modern military strategy. Is the era of the 70-ton main battle tank coming to an end? When we see massive tanks like the Leopard 2 or the Abrams struggling in the mud or navigating narrow mountain passes in Eastern Europe, military forces are realizing that massive firepower is useless if it can't reach the battlefield. This has led to the resurgence of the medium tank, designed for agility while packing a punch similar to its heavier counterparts. Recently, at the IDEB 2026 Defense Exhibition in Slovakia, a new challenger emerged that sent shockwaves globally, the CFL120 CarPat. It's ready to face off against Türkiye's formidable Otokar Tulpar. Today, we're pitting these two combat vehicles against each other to see who the true king of mountain warfare is. Before diving into the vehicles, let's understand the battlefield. The armed forces of Slovakia and many Central European countries operate in terrains dominated by steep mountains, dense forests, and old bridges unsuited for the weight of upgraded Cold War-era tanks. A 70-ton tank simply cannot cross many bridges in this region, and its maintenance drains massive resources. What they need is a combat vehicle with a combat weight between 35 and 40 tons, capable of swift mountain traversal, yet armed with a main gun that can penetrate enemy armor. This challenging requirement forced the defense industry back to the drawing board, resulting in the concept of mating an Infantry Fighting Vehicle, or IFV, chassis with a large turret, a perfect blend of lightness and firepower. Let's start with the Turkish contender, the Otokar Tulpar. Named after the winged horse of Turkic mythology, the name perfectly reflects the vehicle's design philosophy. The Otokar Tulpar wasn't originally designed as a tank, it's a versatile platform, a modular platform ready to transform into whatever the buyer needs. Its robust foundational structure can handle weights from 28 to 45 tons, depending on the add-on armor and turret installed. The core of the Otokar Tulpar is its extreme flexibility. Equip it with a 30mm turret, and it's an IFV capable of transporting 9 infantrymen to the front line. Remove the troop compartment, install a 105 or 120mm main gun turret, and it instantly transforms into a fierce medium tank. Its power plant is equally impressive, offering engine options ranging from 700 to 1100 horsepower. This provides a high power-to-weight ratio, easily achieving speeds up to 70 km per hour. Additionally, the front-mounted engine design provides extra armor protection for the crew from frontal attacks. Now let's examine the recently unveiled challenger, the CFL120 CarPat. As the name suggests, it's built to conquer the Carpathian Mountains. This vehicle is the result of an international collaboration between CSG, or Excalibur Army from Czechia, FNSS from Turkey, and Leonardo from Italy. Unlike the Otokar Tulpar, the CFL120 CarPat isn't meant to be multi-role. It was born as a dedicated medium tank. It uses a chassis evolved from the Kaplan MT, or Harinau, a joint project between Turkey and Indonesia. The real highlight, however, is on top. The CFL120 CarPat is equipped with the HitFact Mk2 turret system from Leonardo. This turret offers significant tactical advantages, featuring a NATO-standard 120mm smoothbore gun capable of firing the latest armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding Sabo rounds. This means that despite a combat weight of just 34 tons, it can stand toe-to-toe with enemy main battle tanks. Furthermore, it prioritizes crew safety by separating the ammunition compartment from the crew compartment and incorporating blow-off panels. This is truly a vehicle that puts heavyweight firepower into a middleweight body. For a clearer picture, let's compare the technical data point by point. We have also included estimated price ranges in USD. Looking at the table, these numbers tell us more than just maximum speed or combat weight. Pay attention to the design concept and the price. The Otokar Tulpar has a broader price range, starting from around $5.5 million to $7 million. This is due to its modular nature. An army on a budget could purchase the base chassis, install a smaller turret initially, and upgrade later. If they need a vehicle for both fire support and transporting 9 infantrymen, the Otokar Tulpar is the perfect fit. It's the Swiss Army knife of the battlefield. The downside is that accommodating troops requires a taller profile, making it a more visible target. Now, turning to the CFL120 CarPat, its estimated price jumps to between $6.5 million and $8 million. The primary reason for this higher cost is the Italian Hitfact Mark II turret system. This turret is packed with advanced fire control systems, omnidirectional sensors, and, most importantly, is purpose-built to carry a 120mm main armament. This lowers the vehicle's center of gravity and improves balance when firing on the move. The CFL120 CarPat doesn't concern itself with troop transport. Its sole purpose is to rapidly hunt down and destroy enemy main battle tanks with precision, operating within a 450-kilometer range. It's a specialized killer worth every penny if pure firepower is what you need. Another crucial point when discussing mountain warfare is gun elevation and depression. On flat terrain, a tank simply points its turret at the target. But in the Carpathian Mountains of Slovakia, the enemy might be hiding on steep cliffs or deep in valleys. The most heavily armored tank becomes a sitting duck if its main gun can't aim high or low enough. This is where the CFL120 CarPat excels. The Leonardo Hitfact Mark II turret is designed with exceptional elevation capabilities, allowing it to provide fire support or neutralize elevated threats effectively. This contrasts with many older main battle tanks whose turret design restricts the gun's vertical movement on slopes. The Otokar Tulpar is no slouch either. Its modular platform often incorporates the highly popular Cockerel series turrets, which also offer excellent gun elevation and depression. Moreover, its lighter weight allows drivers to maneuver onto slopes or mounds to improve firing angles more easily than a 70-ton tank, which would likely get stuck attempting off-road maneuvers in such terrain. Now, let's examine a critical factor that has forever changed modern warfare: the suicide drone, or FPV drone. The familiar image from the Eastern European conflict over the past few years is a multi-million-dollar tank destroyed by a drone costing a few $100s, striking from above where the armor is thinnest. You might wonder how a medium tank with thinner armor can survive. The answer is that they no longer rely solely on steel thickness. They are packed with active protection systems, or APS. Both the Otokar Tulpar and the CFL120 CarPat are designed to accommodate advanced APS systems, capable of intercepting drones or guided missiles before they strike. Their base weight of around 30 tons means that adding APS sensors and radars doesn't exceed weight limits or compromise agility. Beyond defense systems, what truly separates a 2026 combat vehicle from older models is situational awareness. In the past, tank crews risked their lives popping their heads out of hatches to see what was happening. Today, both the Otokar Tulpar and the CFL120 CarPat are equipped with 360-degree camera systems and high-resolution thermal imaging. This allows the crew to see clearly through smoke or in the dead of night, as if it were day. Furthermore, sensor data is processed and shared via data links to other vehicles in the platoon instantly. This is true network-centric warfare. Imagine a scenario where a CFL120 CarPat detects an enemy tank. It can send the coordinates to an Otokar Tulpar or artillery units in the rear for fire support, without ever revealing its own position. These technologies bridge the gap in armor thickness, making the medium tank the most dangerous predator in complex terrains. Most importantly, and this is a nightmare for logistics officers, there's the issue of logistics. Heavy main battle tanks guzzle fuel at an alarming rate, and recovering a damaged 70-ton tank from a steep, muddy front line is nearly impossible. However, vehicles weighing between 30 and 40 tons, like these two, consume almost half the fuel. This means supply convoys don't have to risk frequent trips to the combat zone. Moreover, if the vehicle sustains damage or the engine fails, standard military recovery trucks can quickly tow them back to base. This tactical mobility is why military staffs in many countries are increasingly favoring medium tanks. Firepower is crucial, but if you can't reach the battlefield or run out of fuel in the mountains, a 120mm gun is just expensive scrap metal. At this point, many might be wondering which medium tank is the winner. The answer doesn't lie with the vehicle itself, but with the military doctrine of the operating country. If your country has a limited budget and needs a versatile vehicle, buying one platform to adapt for the entire army, the Otokar Tulpar is the perfect choice. Its modularity ensures it won't easily become obsolete. Conversely, if your country, like Slovakia, already possesses a fleet of armored personnel carriers and lacks a knockout punch to pierce enemy tanks in mountainous terrain without the headache of transporting 70-ton tanks, the CFL120 CarPat is the precise answer. With its powerful NATO-standard 120mm gun, it delivers firepower comparable to a main battle tank at nearly half the weight and budget. For me, the emergence of both the Otokar Tulpar and the CFL120 CarPat clearly confirms that in future battlefields, size and weight are not always the answer to victory. Agility, adaptability, and precision strikes are the true decisive factors. What about you? Which concept do you think better suits the battlefields in our region? The adaptable flexibility of the Otokar Tulpar or the specialized ferocity of the CFL120 CarPat? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm always looking forward to reading them. If you enjoy this kind of in-depth military hardware analysis, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. That's all for today. See you in the next video.